For the past 2 years, I've been on a mission to harvest a black bear. The first couple tries, we attempted the wilderness in Idaho with little success. Now, Canada is known for 3 things: Canadian bacon, hockey, and black bears. So it was a no-brainer to pack up the gear and to head up north with the hope of ending my 3-year quest for a bear. We called up our friends at Adrenaline Outfitters and asked if they could squeeze us in for an early archery bear hunt. And we soon began an amazing story. In every story, there is a beginning and an end. How will you tell your story? Man, that was one heck of a story. When it comes to black bears, Manitoba, Canada has to be one of the top premier destinations in the world. So when we called up the boys for Adrenaline Outfitters and said we had been on the quest for a black bear for some time now, they said, "We think we can help you out." So we got our tags, and after the long trip, we decided that we should check out the tuning and timing of our bows and make sure that everything was on. After a couple quick adjustments, we felt we were ready, so we climbed into bed to get a little rest, and tomorrow afternoon we'd head out.
We're in day 1 of our Canadian black bear hunt in Manitoba, Canada. We are just on the east side of Lake Winnipeg, and we're hunting with Adrenaline Outfitters. We're sitting over some barrels of corn. It's actually fryer oil from like a deep fat fryer. If you have anything against hunting black bears over bait, let me tell you why we're doing this. There's millions and millions of acres just like this, heavy wooded. I tell you what, the clearing lane that we have is 25 yards, and it's only about 6 foot wide, and that's how thick the cover is. It's thick, and there's just no way to hunt these bears aside from bait. And the corn gives them a good protein source as well after they've come out of hibernation. So we're hunting here. This is the first afternoon. We got in late yesterday. Had a good meal of some spaghetti that they cooked back up at the hotel for us, the hotel lodge where we're staying. And it's been phenomenal. 5 stars all around. And we'll see what we can see. See if we can find a nice little black bear for us, a nice boar tonight. And we got Maynard behind the camera. And we're hoping we have a pretty good week. So stick around and see what we see. We suspect the bear should be coming in about a half an hour. They've been on barrel cam about 8 o'clock, so the sun is just above the tree line right now, and it's starting to cool off a little bit, so the sun should start moving.
This week, we are in beautiful Manitoba, Canada for our first ever archery Black Bear Hunt. After a long, slow day of day one, we headed out to a different stand.
Moose poop. From a moose.
Now, whenever you go on a guided hunt, there's always that disappointment when the first day you don't see a single bear. But after we reached the stand on the second day, I knew our luck was about to change. We hadn't even got the camera arm and the other tree stand set up when a bear had moved into the area.
Do you see penis? Oh yeah. Should definitely fit in that barrel. Just. Looking at the ears just look so big. What do you think? Her shoulder. What's that wood that he was talking about? Pike. It's day 2 here in Manitoba, Canada, and we've been out here actually sitting for about an hour and a half, and there's a sow. She's laying down here about 20 yards from us, sleeping. She was, we were setting up our camera stand, and she was sitting on the log and didn't even care we were here, so we quickly sat up and measured her out. Yeah, just realized that she was a sow, so she's been laying down there. Oh, no, she's on the move right now. Stay on her. We'll finish with this. So as you can see, she really doesn't care that we're here. The wind is perfect. Kind of blowing at the right side of her face, so we're in a pretty good position. We'll just see what else happens. So far, it's been awesome. Day 2, Manitoba, Canada, with Adrenaline Outfitters.
Now, can you believe that bear lay there 20 yards from our stand the entire day? In fact, we didn't get down from the stand, so when the guide noticed that we weren't at the pickup point, he came to the stand where he had to scare off the bears so we could actually get down. All in all, I guess you can say it was a pretty good day.
Hey, we're heading out to set some baits today, hey, don't you know? We're on the highway here today in Canada. This is the Trans-Canadian Highway we're on right now. Takes you all the way across Beaver Creek here in Canada.
Bear slaughter, so it's not really bad, not too long ago. Probably pushed the bear off here. You can see there's a bit of a fairway down there. And sometimes they'll come up the river. They're up the bank. More often we see them coming right down the main trail. We just came in on. We had a really big bear here 2 years ago. He was a monster. I think I shot. I wasn't sure if we hit him or not. We found blood. And we tracked him back across that trail we came in on. About, 500-600 yards up the trail and then back across and back way up into there. So we tracked him probably for 3/4 of a mile. And then the blood but the blood was like this high on the trees. So it was a huge bear. Usually we put one in each barrel, but this one's got less than that one. I'll put 2 in here.
Well, it's our 3rd day here in Manitoba, Canada. Till our tree's really blowing. But we came out this morning, we set some baits with Tom, our guide, and this bait was hit. It's a pretty good spot. We have a strong wind that's really blowing these trees. These trees aren't Midwestern trees. These are just small spruce trees. They really sway a lot in the wind. A lot of it popular too. But they sway a lot into the wind here. So you can tell today we're going to be blowing around quite a bit. The tree's going to be moving, but we'll make it work. So last night we had a good sized bear come in that we passed up. Reviewing the footage, it was probably a shooter, but we just couldn't really make the ethical decision if it was a sow or a boar. And that's alright though, we got a couple more days here. So we'll just keep at it. And like I said, this bait's been in. There was actually drool on it this morning when we checked this bait. Alright, it's day 4 here in Canada on our black bear hunt. Last night we had a younger bear come in, and just not what we came here for, so we passed it up. Looking at our footage, it was a pretty good choice. So this afternoon we originally went back out to the 190 stand where we seen a decent bear on Tuesday on day 2, and when we got to the stand the wind just wasn't right. So we decided the best option was just to back out and rejudge the wind and head to a stand that had a little bit better wind. So we're here in a stand they call Bumpy. We haven't been here yet, but our guide Tom says it's been hit pretty good and the barrels were actually sounded pretty empty. So they've definitely been here. We've seen some tracks on the way in. We only got a couple nights left here, so hopefully we can get it done tonight. So stay tuned. Bear, shoot her.
Sat there and ate forever.
We got blood right by the site. Obviously, the rage did a good job right through. Blood all over. We're gonna go meet up with the guide and see what he thinks if we want to go after it tonight or let it sit since it was just a hair back. But we're gonna go see what Tom thinks and go from there.
Well, we found it. We didn't even really have to track it. We were just walking on the trail and spotted it. So
Tom, how hard was your job?
Pretty easy.
Tom took a nap in the truck, I think, all afternoon. And we found the bear for him without even looking. So
Good for you guys.
yeah. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for all your work this week.
You're very welcome.
Well, we made a recovery on our bear last night with the help of Tom here at Adrenaline Outfitters, and Maynard was walking back and he spotted a black spot just about 25 yards off the trail. And sure enough, that was our bear. So we grabbed Tom and we made a recovery on it quick and easy. It got a little too dark last night to do our post interview, but we had a great hunt yesterday afternoon. This bear came in right about 6:30, and we made a quick shot. We were just a little far back, like we said in the video, but luckily I think the rage did the job and got that back part of the lung and didn't walk any more than 75 yards, and we heard the roar and there it was. So quick recovery. Tom said he appreciated that. We had just a great week this week so far. We still got one more tag to punch, so just real great time, great staff. And I highly recommend, even if you're just up here just on a fishing trip or whatever, look up the Wooden Bell Hotel.